Obviously, most important if you're trying to bulk, put on muscle, is protein. And you don't need quite as much protein when you're bulking because carbs are actually protein sparing. When you're really low carb, your body is going to use protein for energy.
No, it won't. Not necessarily, because body will first utilize ingest the dietary fat and the available stored body fat before it starts converting protein into energy. Protein into glucose. Because gluconeogenesis is physiologically an efficient process, converting protein into glucose has a very high metabolic cost. Body will initiate gluconeogenesis only if it doesn't have any other choice. So in extreme cases, if you're at an extremely low body fat levels, if for some reason you decided not to eat anything for a couple of days, or if all you're eating is protein, if there's no other macronutrients available. But go on.
Whereas when you're really high carb, you have all the carbs used for energy, so your body uses the protein to build muscle. Therefore, they help you spare protein. So when you're in that low carb deficit, your body's pulling from your protein source in order to make energy, not just rebuild. You need to add more protein to make sure that you're actually rebuilding properly as well as getting the energy from it.
The whole protein sparing effect of carbs is kind of pulled out of context because it can't compensate for insufficient amounts of dietary protein. You still have to ingest enough protein to ensure maximal muscle protein synthesis. For example, if you're not getting enough protein in your diet, but you're eating a fuck ton of carbs in hopes it'll save you, it won't. Without getting at least sufficient amounts of protein, you won't maximize nutrition-induced muscle protein synthesis. You won't maximize muscle growth, irrelevant of how high your carb intake is. So he's not entirely wrong, he just lacks context, I'd say. But it's a popular notion in bodybuilding circles, especially nowadays, and he's just rolling with it.